Hey guys, this is TheSurgeon here bringing you StarCraft 2 commentary. We have a TVZ matchup on Xel'Naga Caverns. This is going to be actually the last match between these two players. They were actually vying for the championship of a 64-man bracket on rtsLounge.com. So go check out rtsLounge.com. This is a massive 5-hour tournament with many rounds and like best of threes, best of fives. So many games. So Ruff here is made it all the way to the finals, as well as Destiny. So Destiny being the green Zerg spawning in the top right, and Ruff spawning in the bottom left. And yeah, Destiny sending out a drone on 9 of 10 supply. I'm gonna let Ruff give you an explanation on why this drone is out so early.
Well, basically, in the first, well, actually the second and third match, the first match I lost. The second and third match, I actually went Banshees against Destiny here. He's actually a really good Zerg player. And he does not want to see Banshees again in this match. So he's out here real early and he's going straight for that gas. And as you can see here, he's going to joke in a minute. We're going to joke around. He's like, oh, I don't want to see no fucking Banshees.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I mean, as a Terran player myself, Banshees are just so good. They force so many. I mean, they force your opponent into queens or into mutas, and you can just counter that so hard with Marines, Thors, and yeah, I mean, you can just do a Marine Thor push with even more Banshees, and you'll be okay because Thor's just hard counter mutas so bad. Alright, so let's look at the production tab. We do see that the Zerg player is getting a spawning pool, as well as a extractor in the base of Ruff, and he will be canceling and he's going again. So he's really trying to deny that gas while Ruff is getting a double barracks out, so maybe looking to put on some marine pressure early. Yeah, third barracks going up. And Ruff, tell us about your 3 barracks build.
Well, this 3 barracks build that I do, a lot of people say that it's a cheese build, but to me it really isn't. Like, okay, you don't get an orbital command right away because you put the 3rd racks down instead of the orbital command. But as soon as I usually go to 17, 19 supply, and I put down my orbital command and my supply depot, and that's usually when 1 Marine's out, and then I get the other 2 Marines to get that 19 supply while that other supply is going down. So what I do with this build is I usually push out with 6 Marines. It usually catches the Zerg off guard, and if you know they spot the barracks, they can actually they might counter it. But the idea here is to make the get Zerglings just basically units instead of drones, because in the beginning against Terran, the Zerg can really drone up and just swarm the Terran pretty early.
Yeah, and that's so true. So for you newbies out there, there's this saying where if the Zerg is making units, that means they're not making drones, because they do have a limited amount of larvae they have available. Whereas if you're a Protoss or Terran, you're actually making specific units from specific production facilities. Whereas the Zerg is, you know, choosing between the larvae what to make. So yeah, like he says, you know, put some pressure on those Zerg opponents and force them to make some army units instead of those macro drones, and you will be getting a bigger advantage into the late game. So we see Ruff moving in here with 2 SCVs along with 6 Marines, and yeah, he's gonna push in here. He's gonna force he's gonna force some Zerglings to be made, but only 2 on the way, and not even a spine car. 2 queens already out at the bottom of the ramp, with more Marines coming in. Marines doing nice micro here against the Zerglings. SCV is doing a little bit of damage as well, and yeah, he just cleans up all those Zerglings and with great Marine micro, and he's gonna move in here, gonna try snipe these queens as he wants to be able to. He wants to put this Zerg on the defensive, and yeah, look at that. He has 12 Zerglings in production, no drones in production. Let's look at the income tab showing that, yeah, I mean, Ruff is still ahead at 18 Harvesters over 14, and Zerglings are on the field. I mean, no, just 3 queens actually for the Zerg player. Zerg player with the bunker going down in the front. So yeah, I mean, Ruff's doing a really good job to micro against this. He's losing a couple Marines, but he might get, and he did not get the bunker down, so he will cancel that bunker. But he does have Marines to reinforce, but I think he might move back here as he feels like he's put enough pressure, he's forced enough Zerglings to be made, and he has enough of an economic advantage at the moment. And look at that, he put down his expansion. So tell us, Ruff, What is this meta game with the pressure with the fast expansion behind it?
Well, the idea behind it is, well, obviously the Zerg, he successfully stopped the attack, but you can see that he has hardly any drones right now because I was putting so much pressure on him. The idea here is to expand and just overwhelm, just have a higher economic advantage than he can have right now while he's trying to drone up. Obviously, I'm putting down bunkers because I am afraid that if there is a Baneling bust or something, I need to have multiple bunkers down. That way he can't just bust a few in there and just take out my expansion right away, because Zerg's pretty good at doing that.
So tell us a little bit about your transition in this game, as it looks like you went for 3 tech labs. Are you going for upgrades for those Marauders and Marines, or are you going for, you know, just something to counter whatever you see from the Zerg player? But though you haven't scouted, and the Zerg does have both Xel'Naga watchtowers.
I decided to go Reapers here, but since I have that expansion down so early, I can get plenty of gas, and I decided to do a Reaper transition because obviously he went Zergling heavy, and since he has so many Zerglings, I figured that Reapers would be a good transition, because if he goes Banelings, the Reapers can out micro to Banelings by hit and run. So, and if he does go Roach, I can actually pump out a bunch of Marauders real quick with all these racks up.
Yeah, a great counter to Roaches is Marauders. So what's your your thinking here? What if he just sits back in his base and drones up? What are your plans for at least pushing, doing a timing attack? Are you looking to get out Medevacs? Are you looking to get out Banshees? What is your transition after, like, he doesn't really pressure you that much in this game?
Yeah, that's why well, I decided to do the Reapers, like I said, and what I do is I go out with the Reapers, and based on what he has, I'll see with my Reapers while I'm harassing what I should transition into. Usually I expect Mutalisk right after I get about 12 Reapers or so, because usually when I attack, that's when the Spire goes down. So I'm sure that once I attack, you'll notice a Spire drop, because that's about the timing right when I attack around this time. So when I do see the Spire, I'm going to actually try to get Marines and Thors out, or something like that counter all the Mutalisk.
Yeah, so really good supply depot placement there on your mineral line, not allowing those Zerglings to get in and forcing them to go after that bunker. I really like that placement. So, doing a really good job on your macro. The Zerg player is not really overextending himself. He's just kind of droning up. He really was really low on that gas. He just got his 4th extractor up, and you're going out here with your Reapers now. So, and he does have an overseer. He does see you, but yeah, what are your thinkings here with your Reaper harass?
Well, the idea here is just to well, I wanted to try to get on his drone line, but he's actually doing a really good job successfully stopping my Reapers from getting back there. But the thing is, I can't really jump back there, because if he has Zerglings, he will surround me and block me back there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, like right there, now he gets me. But earlier, I avoided that a lot sooner.
Yeah, so good thinking for all you Terran players who might transition into Reapers later. Don't go behind the mineral lines unless you know you have a way out. But usually with Zerg and they're on their creep, they're just so fast. I mean, their move speed is 6.11. That's like the fastest move speed in the game. So you don't want to be on creep when the Zerg has their Zergling speed up. So yeah, I mean, this Zerg player is doing actually quite a good job on the creep spread. I mean, he's got half the map, and he has that vision, so he knows if anything's coming. So what are you thinking here, going into your push? You got Marauders out, but I don't see any, Roaches out. What was your decision to go for those Marauders? And you do have more Reapers on the way, actually. Thors and
the reason...
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the Marauders are there because if I decide to go ahead and do a push, instead of using Marines, which are very prone to Banelings, I use the Reapers instead. Even though the Reapers can't target Mutalisk, I'm not too worried about Mutas at the moment because I didn't see a Spire down. And I do have Thors coming out, so I'm just sticking with the Marauder and Reapers. So if Zerglings do come in, or Banelings, then the Marauders will tank and the Reapers will just clean house in the back.
So are you...
I can also use the Reapers to harass.
So yeah, are you grouping all your units onto one hotkey, or how are you, using your hotkeys for those players out there who want to use Reapers in their attack versus Zerg's late game?
Well, I'll actually be honest with you. I don't really use that many hotkeys. Because in StarCraft 1, I used lots of hotkeys. I used to use A1, A2, A3, A4, for like attack groups, and then 5 on the command center and things like that. But in StarCraft 2, it's very, very easy to actually play the game compared to StarCraft 1. So I just use basically one main attack group, which is just one. And I set my main buildings. I actually, most players would actually hotkey all their different buildings, like factories in the one group, barracks in the one group, starport in the one group. But I just do one set of buildings, usually the buildings that I have the most of, which is like the barracks on hotkey 2. And what I do is I can go ahead and build the units from there, hotkey it real quick, and if I want, I just double tap right back to my base. I can hit the factories and things like that, kind of like you would do in StarCraft 1. So that's how I actually hotkey faster without using separate groups.
Great, yeah, great. But like, see you moving in here, your Reapers out in front, so are you going to be control clicking them and moving to them back when you're going in for the engagement?
Actually here I have them all grouped up in the one group, but I actually double click the Reapers. I am actually pretty good at clicking single units in large groups so that I can micro specific unit groups. Like let's say I have Marines and Marauders and Banelings come, I could just double click a Marine, get all the Marines in a group and run away right behind the Marauders. Similarly like that.
Yeah, that was a great micro against those Banelings. I mean, the Banelings didn't go for your Marine and Marauder. They were just going straight for the Reapers, and the Reapers outran them on the creep. So that was really good, but you did lose your entire force here. So what's your follow-up plan here?
The plan is basically to take that gold expansion now.
Yeah, so great.
If I could take that, then it'll probably be game.